What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Matt Sign's Garage. On today's episode, we're gonna weld the rear diff. As you saw in the last video, we had some weak one tire fire, one tire burnout. That's not what we want. We want to step it up a notch, but we're broke. So we're gonna weld that diff and we're gonna swing her. Stay tuned.
Alright guys, well we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna lift up the rear end right now. We're gonna throw down some jack stands and we're gonna start removing the rear diff. A lot of people like to only remove the cover and weld it while it's still in the car. I don't like doing that way. I just don't feel like you get the finesse whenever you do it that way. So we're gonna drop the rear diff. I honestly forgot how many bolts and nuts and what size and shit there is. So it's like we're doing it for the first time.
Alright, so before we get under the car, I want to introduce you guys to our favorite tool, our best friend for when it's cold or raining or wet outside. This is our mechanic carpet. And this has been with us for a long time, and it's like pretty much my best friend. My best friend.
Alright, so real quick, what we're going to do to just clear up some space under the car is we're going to take the muffler off.
Alright guys, so now that we have the muffler off,
we're going to take the rear half of the drive shaft off.
we've also unbolted the drive shaft right here.
And we're also going to drop the sway bar.
We've also lowered the rear sway bar just to get us some better angles at this differential.
Just so we have a little bit more room to tackle the diff itself. And we're going to get that out right.
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take off these two 18s right here and right here.
I'm going to show you just one. It's not really a trick. I like to do it, a lot of people don't, because it requires doing some drilling. If you remove your spare tire, what you can do is you can drill, and we need to find exactly the points, but you can drill about 2 holes in each corner just so you can get like an impact gun to the bolts that hold the rear of the differential. Damn, I hope I made those holes in the right spot.
That's the tech tip of the day for you guys.
Show the bolt also after.
Alright, so here are the bolts. If you see yourself like ever having to swap diffs pretty often, this will definitely save you so much time. So next step here is pull out the axles, drop the front diff mount, and the differential should just come out.
Alright, so now that the differential is completely out, we're going to go ahead and drain the fluid. But what you can use is a 14mm Allen, or we got a little ahead of ourselves and we couldn't really find this. So you can also use a T70, and it works about the same.
Let's see what kind of clean fluid we have in here.
Oh, wow, that's actually really clean.
Oh fuck, that's clean as shit. Oh, you guys can also break the top bolt so the fluid drains out a lot faster. So we're gonna pull off all the bolts that cover the diff cover. They're all 16s. We already broke them loose, so yank it off. We're gonna unseal it. There's some gasket maker around this. And we're gonna start cleaning so we can start welding. Oh, that came off a lot easier. Some metal flakes down there. So we're gonna start cleaning it up, just so the weld likes to stick and not get contaminated and whatnot. A lot of people like to set it on fire. I don't.
Eventually.
We're using a Lincoln Electric 140 HD. You can honestly go with any pretty cheap welder. Just finished all the welds, and you can see all the corners are welded, and from the spider gears to the casing is welded right there, right there,
now that we have the diff all welded up, closed up, filled with fluid, we're going to throw it back in the car, put some new gasket maker on the diff cover. We're ready to do some pretty nice burnouts, no more one tire fire. It's officially a locked diff and we're ready to throw it back in. This is how you do a quick cleanup after you're done installing your diff. Alright guys, we're good. Alright. And that's how you put in a diff.
We're done. Alright, so that pretty much wraps it up for tonight. We got a little dark, so we couldn't show you some things. But Vlog is going to go ahead and tell you what we did, what you guys didn't see, and maybe some tips. And then Elias is going to finish us right off. Vlog's going to go ahead and tell you what we did today. Some tips, and then some things that you guys maybe didn't see.
Elias finished both of us.
Oh my god.
Hey bro, we're on set here, bro.
Hello?
Alright, so that pretty much wraps it up for today's video. We got the diff welded, we got it back in. It got a little too dark to show you guys some things, but Vlog's gonna go ahead and explain all the things you guys maybe didn't see, and some tips that he recommends.
Alright guys, so what we did first was we pulled out the diff, and like I said earlier, drilling those 2 holes in the spare tire well really made things a lot easier. And that goes the same if we ever decide that we want to change out the ratio on the differential or put in another differential, or if my beautiful welds break, which they won't because they never break. So we pulled it out, we welded it, we did the corners, we got the top and the bottom, and we closed it back up, we resealed it. I always recommend putting new diff fluid in there, running it a little bit, just a little bit, maybe 10 minutes, let the car warm up in like first gear with the diff spinning, and then turn off the car, drain the fluid, and put brand new fluid. That just makes sure all the gunk and shit from the welding gets out, and then you have fresh fluid that won't turn black like this. So we got the new diff in, we went for a little rip around the block, and I love it. It just rained for us, so second gear I was making a turn, a little bit of throttle, blip it, and it just ass gave out. So I think next week's video, what are we doing, Elias?
Next week, I think we're going to show you guys how to put in some E36 control arms, how to get it to fit up to the E36 chassis, and maybe a hydro e-brake. That might be coming a little bit later. But other than that, hopefully you guys learned something from this video, whether it's to just install a differential or to weld your own diff if you're willing. It's really not that complicated as you guys saw. But yeah, hopefully you learned something, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if there's anything else that you have questions on, or if you want to see us do anything. But stay tuned.
I'd like to also give a shout out to our sponsor, Coca-Cola Liquid, for supporting us, supporting this channel from the very beginning. I appreciate you guys. We give you guys money, you guys give us free Coke. That's insane. That's the best deal I've ever heard.
Alright, Elias, finish this up.